I'm going to give y'all the story time on what happened between me and Justin Laboy, but I want to clarify some things first. That is his account. That is him messaging me from the account. His account is not ran by anybody else. The person that y'all see in the video is not Justin. It's one of his friends that we were out with. Also, I had met Justin in person before, so I didn't need to FaceTime him because I knew who I was meeting already. So now we can start the story that some questions are answered. Justin had texted me and asked me to link with him because he was landing at 2 o'clock. I'm like, okay, that's cool. We could do that. I'll be done with this bridal party whenever, and I'll link with you at 4 at the hotel he told me to. When I finished, I ended up pulling up to him. I left to go to the restroom. He texted me. He's like, where are you at? I'm like, I'm here. Once I leave out the restroom, I see he's calling me. I end up declining the call because I'm walking around to him. We go into his hotel room so he could put his luggages down or whatever. And he's just in there saying a whole bunch of cocky shit like, oh, niggas ain't like me. Niggas ain't making money like me. Niggas ain't checking off their to-do list like me. All this shit. I'm not impressed, bro. We then go downstairs and we get into the car and we start heading to an arcade place. First, they didn't even know where they wanted to go. They made a phone call to somebody that I know of and was asking them, oh, where should we go? Where should we go? And the person's like, I'm going to send you some stuff. But in the meantime, we ended up driving down to the strip district and we went to an arcade place. When we get into the arcade place, Justin's like, oh, I could tell you're psychotic. You're psychotic as fuck. But it's okay because I'm toxic. And I'm like, I'm not, for real. Like, I just be chilling. I don't bother nobody. Throughout the entire time while we're there, he just kept saying, I'm going to go through your whole closet and throw away your wardrobe. I'm going to start you fresh. You're going to be wearing what I want you to wear. I end up asking him, like, why do you keep saying that? Like, that's disrespectful as fuck. Don't judge me off of what I'm wearing now when you know I just came from doing makeup. He said, oh, I don't mean it in no disrespectful way or anything like that. That's just one of my love languages. That's just something I like to do for people I care for. I'm like, okay, cool. We end up going to go sit down, me and him. His people go sit somewhere else. And while we're just talking, I just feel the vibe. He's just like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be the one to ruin this. Like, I'm good, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, well, shit, that's not the type time I'm on. I'm not ever here to ruin a friendship, a relationship, situationship, nothing like that. But he keeps making rude comments. Like, I'm just kind of thrown off because I didn't get this vibe from him the first time I met him. So I was just like, whatever. Eventually, if shit keep going weird, I texted a group chat with my mom and my sister, and I was like, Justin is so rude. And they're like, why? He's like, oh, let me see your phone. Let me see who you're texting. So I give him my phone. He goes to the first text messages, which is the group chat, and he sees that I told them he's so rude. And he starts becoming aggressive. Why am I rude? How am I rude? And I'm trying to explain it to him, but he's not hearing me. So he gets mad. We end up leaving that spot and we went to go sit where his friends was. And he's just being weird. He's like, oh, what do you want to eat? I'm like, it doesn't really matter. You could just order me anything. He's like, oh, I'm not that type of nigga. All right, fine. After us sitting there for a little bit, I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. I get up. I go outside. I call somebody to try to come pick me up so they could take me to my car. But they weren't able to. I ended up ordering an Uber. After I ordered the Uber, I went back inside and I sat down. And his friend seen on my screen that I had ordered an Uber. And his friend was like, oh, no, it's fine. It's okay. Cancel the Uber. You'll be good. Like, he's just probably drunk, but we're vibing. You're going to be okay. I'm like, fine. Now, at this point, me and Justin both needed to use the restroom. So we walked to the restroom. I handle my business. He handles his. I come back out and I'm waiting for him for a couple of minutes, but he never comes out. So I decide to go sit back down at the table. Then Justin ends up coming and he's snapping on me talking about why the fuck would you leave me? And I was like, I didn't leave you. I was sitting there waiting for you, but you never came. He's like, yeah, my bad. I was on the phone. And I was like, so why are you coming over here being aggressive if this was something that you did? I did not leave you though. After a couple of minutes of silence, I asked him to get up and he did. I got out and then I asked him, I said, hey, can you step off to the side so we could talk? And that's what we did. But I asked him, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you being like this? Like, why are you being so rude? I'm trying to tell you why I feel like that, and you're not trying to hear me at all. He again disregards me saying that. Walks to the back where the servers are, and one of the servers is like, hey, you can't be back here. Justin's like, do you not know who I am? I could be back here. I could do whatever I want to. And I'm telling him, I'm like, Justin, it's fine. Like, come on. Like, let's just go sit back down at the table and finish the night. So now security and managers come and they're telling him, like, you have to leave. I walk back to the table and I tell one of the girls, I'm like, hey, shorty, we gotta go. She's like, what's going on? I said, he's tripping. Just grab your food and come on. So me and a girl walk outside. We're having slight conversation. I'm telling her like what's going on and everything. I walk away and I end up calling my mom and I'm telling my mom like, hey, I'm about to leave. I'm just going to get another Uber to go back to my car because he's tripping. Like we just got kicked out of the arcade place that we're at. His friend then ends up coming over, the guy that you guys see in the video, ends up coming over and telling me like, hey, he's just drunk. I don't know what's going on, but everything's going to be okay. And he notices I'm on the phone and he's like, wait, who are you on the phone with? I'm like, my mom. So I show him my phone and then I hand it to him. He's on the phone with my mom. I'm assuming my mom is like, y'all, like, whatever y'all got going on, take my daughter back to her car. Because this ain't the type time. Like, we don't play that shit. And the boy's like, oh, mom, she's good. She's going to be okay. Like, we're going to continue vibing or whatever. So I stand there for a minute. His friend walks over. Justin ends up coming out. And I ended up walking over. And I'm just like, see, like, you're doing all this. We got kicked out of here for no fucking reason. The girl that I had took outside with me, she ended up going her separate ways. We went ours and we went back to the car. So when we went back to the car, I ended up sitting in the back seat. I guess they're taking me back to my car or whatever. I don't know at the time. But I'm sitting back there crying. I'm in my feelings like I just don't understand why the fuck he's being rude. This don't make no sense, whatever. So while I'm in the back seat crying, Justin and them is playing music. Justin ends up turning his phone on with his flash and started recording me crying. And I'm flipping off the camera. Like, why are you recording me? You're recording me and I'm sitting over here crying and you're finding enjoyment from this shit. And it just does not make sense. So I put my purse in the seat over and I get up, jump to the front, and I'm trying to fight him for his phone to get his phone to delete the video. His friend's like, stop, we're going to get into a car crash. I'm like, cool, fine, like that can happen, but delete the fucking video. Like that shit's not funny, and why would you do that to me? I didn't do nothing for you, and you're sitting over here finding enjoyment from me crying because you hurt my feelings. I sit back. It's a little bit, probably a couple minutes pass by. We end up pulling to the hotel. We get out and I tell the valet person like, hey, go ahead and put my bill on his tab. I'm not paying that shit. Justin, come step off to the side with me. So he steps off to the side with me. I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you being like this? Why are you being weird? Like, you're being rude as fuck for no reason. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We were having such a good time. And then you just started like tripping. And I told him, again, I start explaining to him why he's being weird. And why are you getting mad that I'm telling somebody that you're being rude from the comments that you're making and the vibe that I'm getting from you? Eventually, his friend comes over and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I want him to delete the video of me that he took. And his friend's like, he deleted it. I said, I don't know that. And of course, you're going to say your friend deleted it because that's your friend. I want to see that the video was deleted. So his friend tells him to go to his delete or, you know, his camera or his camera roll to show me that the video's not there. I can't tell that the video's not there because he's just scrolling to the point I can't see nothing. His bro's like, oh, go to your recently deleteds. He ends up going to his recently deleted and there's only 5 things in there. But he does not go to the first video. He goes to the next one. And he says it's not there. But I'm like, go back to the first video. At this point, I try snatching his phone from him again. And he, like, we're low-key tussling over this shit. And his friend ends up getting involved and trying to remove me and takes me outside. And he's like, friend, it's okay. Calm down. We're going to talk about this in the morning. I tell him, like, there's nothing else to talk about. Whatever. So me and the friend end up talking and I'm just like, your friend's a liar. He's weird as fuck and I just don't understand. His friend even says, I know he's a liar. I don't know why he's lying to you. You're good peoples. I don't know why, but he's probably just drunk. And at this point of me and his friend having this conversation, Justin ends up leaving and I guess he goes to the hotel room because he was nowhere in sight.